It's all happening. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Rob.
Yay! Hi, everybody. It's Round Robin. That's where we talk about anything because we don't give a fuck.
That's right.
That's the format
We
of the
do
show.
not.
So, how was your day?
Oh my God. My day was huge. We set up the pool in our backyard. It was just me and my mom and my third oldest brother, who's sometimes really useless kind of person. But he sort of
Apparently, he
helped.
doesn't watch the stream, right? I would guess.
No, he doesn't. And if he does, hi, Joey. Um,
You worthless piece of shit.
See, and I would say it to his face though, and he knows it. But okay, so here's the thing. Me and my mom are like putting the poles together, and my brother was like, "Well, I'm gonna take a break." And he brought his hammock with him
That's
to my
funny.
house.
That's
So he
funny.
slung his hammock in the tree and he's like sitting in the hammock while me and my mom are still doing work. And I was like, "Really? Really? You're doing this now?" It's fine though. He was pretty helpful and pretty awesome. And we have a swimming pool in our backyard that we can't use because bureaucracy.
Right, there's no water. You know, your
Mhm.
your voice is making a. I wonder if it's my sound thing or if it's.
Oh, am
There's
I
like
broken?
static with all your words, but I don't know if it's me or you.
Oh no, it's probably me.
Let's see. Let's
Our
just.
power went out last night.
Did it really?
Mhm. We've been having storms like really bad yesterday and today. It's actually raining right now.
I like the rain.
So our internet's probably hot garbage right now.
Let me just change my headset real quick and see if. What do you sound
Okay.
like now? Oh, that's.
Maybe people in chat will say something.
I changed the thing and it's super weird. Okay. Um. So you got your pool up, no water.
Well,
Um.
we put like 4 inches of water in it, and the kids played in it.
They kicked the water. They kicked it.
We're
That's all
not
you can do.
supposed to even like do that, but I was like, "Come on, guys, we're gonna smooth out the wrinkles in the bottom of the pool," and that was the premise of letting them come in the
Cheerbits in the
pool.
stream. Thanks for the cheerbits.
Of course, they loved it and they had fun and had a good time. But yeah, that was pretty much my day. I'm like really achy. My arms are achy from like doing the frame and like you have to like snap it all together and put like little pegs in it and then lift it all up and then stretch out the pool. I don't know. I'm just tired. It was a lot of work. It's 18 feet across. It's huge. It's
Damn.
a giant pool. I showed you the pictures. It was pretty big.
Mar Mussman,
Super
thank you for the cheerbits. Bit boss,
Ooh,
Mar
cheerbits.
You said that you're not supposed to put even 4 inches of water, according to who?
No. So to the city of Antioch, which is where I live. So we got a permit from our homeowners association to do a pool. That was the easy part. They were like, "Okay, get a pool." But here's the guidelines, for the pool. And after that, we have to get a permit from the city of Antioch, which is above our homeowners association. And basically, the city of Antioch, they wanted, well, first we had to get something called a Julie inspection, which is where a guy came into our backyard and spray painted lines on the ground to say where the electric lines are buried and gas and et cetera, right? All the utilities. So he had to show us where the utility lines are in the backyard because we can't put the pool within 5 feet of those lines, even though they're buried like 20 feet under the ground. I don't get it, but whatever. So the problem is last week we asked for the Julie inspection and they said that they would be there on Thursday, which was past Thursday. And then they didn't show. And then we called them on Friday numerous times to get them to figure out why they didn't come when they had scheduled to come. And they just blew us off. My husband was like super irritated. And I was like, I'd be leaving angry voicemails if it was me, right? I'd be like, motherfuckers, you said Thursday. So long story short, on Monday, when Monday rolled around 2 days ago, he called them and they finally answered. And the lady who answered gave us the number of the inspector who was supposed to come, like his direct line. So we called the inspector and then he came yesterday, which was Tuesday, and did the whatever, and showed us where everything is. And so today we set up the pool. Oh my God. It's just been like a headache. But anyway, so now after this, we have one more inspection, and that's from the city of Antioch, where they come and they make sure we did it right. And then we can fill the pool up and use it.
Yeah.
But we need one more inspection. It's fucking dumb. Like, I don't get it. If you live anywhere else in America, just about, you buy a house,
I know why they do
you do
that.
whatever the fuck you want on your property.
You're gonna put like 1,000 gallons of water in there, and then if you did it wrong, it's gonna break and flood the neighbors. Like they need to.
It's dumb.
Check it.
It's dumb. I don't give a shit. I think
That's
it's
what
dumb.
You should say when
I
they
think
come
it's all
out for
very
the inspection.
Bureaucratic.
Before they even start the inspection, you should say, you know what, this is really dumb.
Yes.
Your job is stupid, and then they'll be like,
Yeah, that's right. Yes, Diablo Bob, it is an above ground pool. If we wanted to build an in-ground pool, it's way worse. You have to get like 4 different permits for it, and it's fucking dumb.
Not to mention it's probably 10 times the price.
Yeah, and because now I know where our electric line and our cable line and stuff is in the ground. We actually couldn't even get an in-ground pool. I mean, we could get one on the right side of our yard, but it would be really small and it'd be boring.
Yeah.
So whatever.
You don't have your mic on in VC, do you?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know.
Should just be in Discord. Do I sound really bad?
Yeah, it's getting worse actually.
I mean, I can. Let me just check my Discord settings.
Now I wonder, Bob, you're on the stream. Does her voice sound weird at all? Because it might just be my headphones. But let me know in this. Oh, good. Oh, so yeah, so George Orr thought it was his ears. So yeah, I guess apparently you do sound.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Pools.
I don't know how to fix it.
That fence looks nice too, the one in picture you sent me.
Thanks. Yeah, that was our new fence. Yeah. You can, I don't know if you can show that on stream somehow, maybe.
Oh yeah, I can show it on stream.
Yeah, we did have to fix our fence in order to get a pool, because you have to have a fence all the way around any pool that you get. I don't know why. Look at my kids playing in the pool. They're so cute. I'm gonna unplug my microphone from underneath my computer and then plug it back in.
Okay. Yeah, there's the new fence back there, and then this is her kids. Robin's kids are ages 12, 19, and 30. I think I might be close. I don't know if I'm close or not. I wrote a joke on Facebook today. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong thing. Hold on, there we go. I wrote a joke on Facebook today that said, 20th century parents, hey, honey, you want to have kids? It'll be 18 years of us without our lives. And then 21st century parents, hey, honey, you want to have kids? It'll be 18 to 25 or maybe 30 or possibly 40 or even 50 years without our own lives. I thought I was funny.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's the same. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can hear you. It's just that every word has like a crackling in it. You know what I mean? Like as if you had to shorten your mic or something. Oh, Bob, Robin has a good story about how much it costs to fill the pool.
I do, but I don't want to tell it if I sound like hot garbage while I talk.
You sound like hot garbage. Well, I don't know if it's your sound equipment, I don't know if there's anything else we can do.
I've done everything I can think of. I switched ports. I put it in the 3.0 port.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's a good. Drop out of Discord. Actually, you know what? Close Discord and then open it again and come back and see if that helps. Yeah, we'll be able to see her, but we won't hear her. Then I'll have her tell her story about the water, filling the water. Oh, there's Tiamat or one of the cats. I don't know which one it is because I don't know. she can't hear us, right? Well, unless she has the stream on, she can hear me, but not in. She's not in. Comes back. There she is.
Hello.
Hello?
Do I still sound like hot garbage?
Yes, you do.
Son of a bitch.
I wonder. I'm not able to know what that is or how to fix it. I don't know what it is. I wonder. We'll just
Is
deal
it
with it.
really terrible?
I mean, it's just that with every word there is a crackling. Like there's the only way I can describe it without knowing what it is like you have a short in your mic, or I have a short in my headphones. But I don't. I hear the music was fine, so I don't think it's
Right.
that. But yeah, I don't know.
Then it's
We'll deal with
definitely me.
So tell about how come it's going to be free to fill your pool.
Oh, right, because my husband called the water company and they were like, yeah, whatever day you're going to fill the pool all the way up, let us know, and we won't bill you for your water gallons that day.
Oh, the stream says my voice is doing it too.
Oh, it's got to be an internet thing then.
Hold on a second. Let me restart. This is welcome to Wednesday night's troubleshooting show with Robin. I'm gonna restart my voice meter, which means no one's gonna hear anything for a minute. By now. And hello.
I tried in my microphone. I really like my microphone.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's still the same, and apparently it's me too. I have to restart Discord. Oh, I have to restart. Yeah, duh. That's okay. Let me try that. Okay, cement. Okay, cement. Okay, calm down, everyone. I'm gonna restart Discord. Hold on. I don't know.
A new cable.
No. I bet it is. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll bet it is Discord. Let me restart Discord. How do I do it? I don't know how to do it. Okay, let's find out. Discord's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Should be back. Am I back? Okay, talk now.
Talk now.
Ooh, it might be fixed.
Oh?
Oh, I think it might be fixed. I think it was my problem. Excellent. Okay, anyway.
Dun dun dun.
No, I think I just heard it again. I don't know. I don't care now. I just don't even care now. So your husband called the place and they said we won't charge you gallons for that day.
Yep. So we just got to call them the day that we're going to fill the pool up, which would be the day we get our inspection.
Yeah,
and we won't
cool.
get billed for those gallons, which also means I will probably do all my laundry that day. Because I'm a petty pinchin' bitch.
Petty pinchin' bitch. So, why do they do that? Why do they let you? I mean, it's awesome, but why? I would think they would be like, nah, fuck you. We're gonna charge you double that day. Like, I don't know why they do that.
No, I don't know. We live in a hoity-toity area, so I don't know. I don't know. Good question. I have no idea. How is your?
So my day, I was just sitting here, just my own business, right? I was just my own business, right? And the phone rings, and I'm like, oh, good, it's my sister. I haven't talked to her for a long time. And she just lives down the street. And so I pick up the phone, and her name's Laura, and she says, oh, how you doing? And I said, oh, yeah, I'm good. And she seemed surprised. And then I said, how's it going with you? And she goes, well, Maura's in the hospital. That's my other sister, Maura. And I go, oh, huh?
Your sisters have rhyming names.
Well, so first of all, there's a whole story I have to tell about. They're not my biological sisters, but they're my sisters. And my one sister's name is really Mara. Maura. Mara.
Okay.
But I didn't know that for like the first 30 years. So I've called her Mora my entire life. And then one day, like 2 years ago, she goes, by the way, it's Mara. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She goes, I don't correct people. And I'm like, oh, have you met me? That's all you should be doing. Anyway, so she's in the hospital and I was like, oh no, what's up? So she says, well, she has 2 kidney stones and she's at Valley Hospital and they're going to ambulance her to Deaconess, and that's where the specialist is, and then they're going to give her an operation or whatever. I'm like, okay, what do I do? And she goes, can you come and drive with me and the kids to the hospital and then drive Mara's car home? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I said, I'll be there in 25 minutes. And she goes, because I hadn't showered, I need 10 to shower, 5 to get dressed, and 10 to drive over there. And so I calculated. And then I was there in like 18 minutes. But she goes, okay. And then I get over there. And they have this big dog. It's like a Labradoodle. It's like, weighs like 60 pounds or 70 pounds. And it's cute as hell. But it'll just attack you. And especially if it hasn't seen you for 3 months. So I get over there. Now there's 2 of them.
Aww.
And it's like shit fest, and I'm getting scratched and everything, and I'm just a super baby. Like these dogs are like half my weight and they're just attacking me. And so we get all, and then she says, okay kids, get in the car and put your masks on, and then put the dogs in the back. And I'm like, the dogs? She goes, oh yeah. And it's not like like she says, and I'm like panicking because I'm like, no, but it's not like I would have said, I'm not taking you, like I'm not gonna, it's family, you got to do it. But she goes, oh yeah, the dogs, if we leave them here, they just rip up the house, and now that we've stayed with them for 3 months every day, there's no way we can leave without. And I'm thinking all kinds of stuff like, well, what are you gonna do when you go back to regular life? Are you just gonna stay home with the dogs all day? Like that's insane. So I'm in the car with her. She's driving. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and the 2 kids are in the back, and the 2 dogs are in the back. In the back. They have like a big, Ford Escape or what, I don't know what the hell it is. And yeah, no, the dogs are 140 each, and I'm twice that. I don't know. So
no, wait, my Great Dane weighs like 140, so a Labradoodle probably weighs like 80 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're huge. They're just all muscle. Anyway,
that's not.
So now
like,
I'm in the car with my sister, who has her mask on, 95% correctly. I got my mask on that Ida made me, my Spider-Man. I call it's my Jewish superhero, Jacob Spider-Man. I put that on. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm in the car with 2 kids, like 8 and 10, and the dogs, none of whom know how to properly wear a mask. And I'm just not even looking back there. And Laura goes, we'll put the windows down and it'll blow. And I'm like, will that help? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's just go. So I'm risking my life. And when I first got there, I've subliminally trained these kids to hate me because that's what I want. So when I get there, I said, hi, boys. And both of them hadn't seen them in 3 months. Both of them were like, uh-huh. And, Uncle Rob shows up and they're like, oh, great, this guy. And I'm like, yes, my evil plan's coming together. And the reason I don't want them to like me very much is that when they get a little bit older, I don't want them calling me for shit. I don't want.
Right.
Yeah.
Aww.
So we drive over to the hospital, and we find Mara's car, which is a giant truck. It's like this huge white truck that's like a fucking. Not my car.
A Suburban?
No, like it's a pickup. It's a pickup, but it's a long bed, and it's just you, and like you got to climb up into it, like it's just insane. I don't know what she's doing. Well, they're lesbians. So I get there, and then she goes, okay, I'm gonna go in and get the keys, and I'm like, what type of life do you live that you don't have spare keys to this car? Like, what's happening here? I didn't say that to her, but I'm like, what? And she goes, I'll be back. So she's 15 minutes going to get the keys. And I'm like, I've checked all of Twitter. I've checked all of Facebook. I've watched all of Netflix. I've seen all of Pornhub. I got nothing to look at on my phone. Standing in the parking lot like an idiot. And so then she comes back, and then she goes, okay. I said, do you want me to park it in the driveway where it normally is? And she goes, yeah, do that, and then I'll pull in behind you. So I'm driving. I'm taking my time because it's not my vehicle, right? I'm taking my time going back to her house, which is like a 10-minute drive. And I'm thinking the whole time, oh, they're going to be there waiting for me. Like, pull it in, asshole, so we can pull you. But I get there, there's nobody there. So I'm like, oh, cool. I drive in, I park. There's a giant box from Amazon on the porch waiting for me. I don't know what that is. And
furniture, probably.
I get there, and then she backs in, and then she goes, thank you so much, and whatever. And yeah, I'm happy to do it. And then I said, will you hold my hand for a minute? And she got this look on her face. She put both of her hands out. We have masks on. And she goes, oh, you haven't touched another human being for like 3 months, right? And I go, yeah, that's right. So she held my hands, and, we hold hands for a minute. And then, and I guess I got to call my other, I don't know. I haven't talked to her. They said that it was an outpatient thing, so she might even be home now. I don't know. But I'll have to call and find out. Anyway, then I got back, and then that's my day. That's what happened.
Aww. Well, that was a nice thing for you to do for them.
Yeah. I'm there.
Yeah.
Oh, the funniest thing about it, though, was she's like, thank God you showed up. We were going to have to walk like 5 miles to the hospital. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I go, Laura, first of all, I'll always be there. But even if I was dead, you're not going to walk. There's a thing called Uber. And she goes, oh yeah, Uber. I just never thought of that. And she's not dumb. She's not even ditzy or absent-minded, nothing. She was just panicking so much, she forgot that Uber existed.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do. There was, when we first moved here, well, we've had one car, between my husband and I, we've had one car for a very long time. Long story short, I used to have my own car, but it's a piece of shit. So we sold it while we were still living in Kansas City. We sold it because it wasn't worth anything. It would have cost more to fix it than the car was worth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So so we sold that, and we've been on one car family for a long time. And it used to be like when we lived in Kansas City, we lived in military housing that wasn't actually part of a functional base anymore. You can Google this, but there's a place in Belton, Missouri, where there used to be a post there, but they dismantled the post and sold off like a lot of the property. But the military housing is still there. There's still a commissary there, and that's it. Like you can drive down the road and see where like all the big barracks buildings used to be. It's a Bible college now. And there's like the airport where they used to have like the choppers and stuff like that. That was privatized, I think. And there's a National Guard unit there now, and then that's it. Or it might be a reserve unit. It's either a guard unit or a reserve unit. I don't remember. And they're the only people that occupy any of that land anymore. Everything else is like empty buildings, et cetera, et cetera. But so people who come there to be recruiters for the Kansas City recruiting battalion, which is there, or people who are active duty at that reserve or guard unit, they can use that military housing there. So that's where we lived, basically. And I lived within walking distance of the commissary, which if anybody's ever been in the Army or knows anybody who was in the Army, commissary is dirt cheap. Like, if you could shop at a commissary, you could get a whole pork roast that you could like put in the crock pot for like $6. Like, dirt cheap. It's so good. Like, I loved it. So I lived within walking distance of the commissary, and I should turn my phone off. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, everything I needed, I didn't need a car for. The housing
right.
had a park.
It's also close,
and and like a splash pad for the kids during the summer. And so not having a car was like not a problem. It didn't bother me at all. Then we move out here to Chicago suburbs, and like nothing's within walking distance. There's a grocery store that's kind of within walking distance, but it's not as close as the commissary was.
Yeah.
It's a little further. There's a Walmart, like, yeah, maybe 5 or 6 miles down the road, which is walkable. It's just really far. I think that's
5 or
kind
6
of
miles
like
one
5
way.
miles
That's
is,
bullshit. I don't know.
yeah,
I can't be bothered to
that's
go
a
to the end
long
of the
walk.
driveway for the mail.
Yeah.
Oh, Thespinator isn't asking. He's saying cheaper than the PX, I think, for the commissary.
Yeah, well, PXs are way different and really expensive. Like PX, everything at the PX I think is overpriced garbage. I mean, they sell the same thing you can get like a Sears or Target or Walmart generally, but it's so overpriced. They mark it up by like 15% because you don't pay sales tax.
I bought most of my first edition D&D books at the PX in Seoul, Korea, and twice when I did that, I took a Huey helicopter to go there to buy them. But that wasn't. I didn't do that. That wasn't the only reason. I took the helicopter for another reason. But while I was there, I think we missed a couple. Oh, Bob wants to know how's Ida nowadays since Monsters Managed isn't happening. You know my friend Ida. She would call me. She's been on stream many times before, just because she would call me while I was streaming, and then oh yeah, that's right, you watched for years.
Yep,
so and she would call it Monster Management Monday. That's why, because she doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Aww.
She's fine. I talked to her today. She made 2 masks for me and sent them to me. One of them has polka dots on it. The other one has Spider-Man, and I refer to it as my Jewish superhero Jacob Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore that today when I went to the hospital. I didn't go in the hospital, but you know. But yeah, she's good. She's just started her teaching. She's in I don't know. She's 53 years old. She'll be 54 in November, and she's going to college. She's going to get her master's in teach. I don't know what the hell she's doing.
Aww,
but it's all online. It costs like $10,000, and she's, I don't know. Her husband's an architect. I don't understand what's happening. And then she said,
sometimes people just want to do something that makes them feel
absolutely
good.
And she's been subbing for like 8 years, and most of her sub jobs that she gets are long term. Like, she doesn't just do a week. She does like 6 months for a maternity leave person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's been having all these long, and a lot of the jobs she's getting were at the local high school where she lives in Oceanside that her kids went to. She only has 1 kid in high school now because the other 2 are in college. But actually, the other one of them just graduated college the other day. Yeah, William, unbelievable. That kid was like 12 a minute ago, and he's like 22 now. But and Ida's husband is British, so there's a lot of bumper shoot and fancy talk with lifts and govna. And
oh god.
Yeah. They met at University of Oregon, and they got married when they were like 21. I don't know.
Aww, so cute.
Anyway, she's good, and I talked to her twice already today, multiple times every day. I've talked to her like 1 million times.
That's awesome.
She's like my sister, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if her husband dies, we don't have to talk about it. But
well, you've known each other for so long. Sorry, I have something in my eye, and it's like super bothering me.
Yeah, I've known her for 43 years.
Damn.
Right.
That's older than I am.
Yeah. I've known her since Star Wars.
Damn.
I met Ida.
I was gonna say I haven't known anybody that long
because you're not that alive. You're not that alive. I met Ida 4 months after Star Wars came out in the theater. I met her 4 months later.
Aww.
My oldest friend I've known since December of '72. So that's coming up on 50 years, like in another year. That's crazy.
Damn. That's awesome.
No, well, two more years, I guess. 2 more years. Anyway, that's how. What's up, Gwydion? Yeah.
Good.
That's it.
Cool.
Who's your oldest friend?
That's it. My oldest friend would be my friend Kelly. I've known her since I was 11. And we went to middle school and high school together. We don't talk that much. She still lives in California, but like we keep up with each other on Facebook still. She's married. She has 3 kids. She got married very young. She was like 19 when they got married, but they didn't have kids for like a really long time. So they did like that, young married life and like had a whole bunch of fun. and then they had kids around the time I already had my second kid. And then they had 3 kids like bam, 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 like all back to back. So she has 3 kids and they're basically in between the ages of my second and my third kid. So yeah, it's really crazy because, she'll be like, oh my gosh, Sean is 12, like, because my oldest is 12. And she's like, well, my oldest just turned 8, and I'm like, oh. But yeah, I think she's probably like I still have like Facebook friends that I've known since like kindergarten, people I went through like elementary school, middle school, high school with. But I wouldn't say that they're like close friends. They're more like acquaintances.
There's very few people that I still have contact with that I had that were from school, but most of them are from the class where I met Ida.
Yeah.
And I haven't had constant contact for like 40 years with them. Like
right.
Ida, there's probably a period of about 10 or 15 years where I didn't talk to Ida all the time. But now for like the last 10 years, it's been daily, right? Like,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, like my husband and I have made a lot of like military friends just through.
Yeah,
like,
I don't have any.
Places we've lived.
There's like two of my Army buddies that are on Facebook that I've talked to now, but people's lives diverge and you're just not,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I would say my closest like military friend, her name is Erica. She is really awesome. Super kind of crazy in a good way, like, one of those like colorful personalities. That's the best way. Like, she likes to have fun and she speaks her mind, and she's really cool. I really like her. She lives in Tennessee still, and yeah, we keep up with each other, send each other cards, call each other sometimes, Facebook post each other, that kind of stuff. She's awesome though.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Army and whatnot.
Yep. My husband is like really good at keeping up with a bunch of his like high school friends and Army friends. I'm just not that good at it. Like, I just can't be bothered.
I think it from what I've noticed, keeping up with people that you were in the service with is more. It happens more if you were in combat. Which I wasn't. If you weren't in combat, it was just like being at a day job.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. My husband deployed, but they didn't deploy to a combat zone. But he was in Afghanistan and he was doing like support stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
yeah, if you were ever in any kind of foxhole situation, then it's different. You bond differently with those people,
right? Yeah.
Because you're
and
like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, watch my back because if not, we fucking die. That's the whole difference. Whereas if you're, if you're watch my back while I go to the copy machine, it's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, and it's crazy. One of our best friends from the Army, our friend, his name is Chauncey. That's his first name. Really cool. He deployed like a year before my husband did because he was assigned to a different unit, and they deployed, and he went to like a hot zone, like bad place in Afghanistan, and their like DFAC got mortared and like all kinds of crazy shit like that. DFAC, for you civilians watching, that's a dining facility. It's their cafeteria, basically. Anyways, yeah, they got like mortar fire, and I don't know, they had all kinds of bad stuff happen. And he came back from deployment a little different, a little more grown up, because when he left, he was like, well, he's much younger than us too, so we always consider him like, like a little brother. And he was always super fun and spunky. And then he deployed and came back, and he was like all grown up, and it was like,
Yeah, well,
different.
mortar shells will do that to you. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
You take stock of your life when you're about to fucking die every 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Like
Very
you know, when
sad.
I had my liver transplant, I was working through some things. You know, I just had to
Yeah,
stay alive to
you
see
gotta
that last.
get your mind right, you know.
There's a guy. This is a funny story. When I was living in Phoenix, I worked with my friend. We were in a comedy troupe together, and he started an insurance business. And he goes, "Hey, do you want to just come to the office whenever you want and make cold calls, and I'll pay you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds
Oh
fun."
God.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm right. Totally didn't want to do that, but he would give me money, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So one day he's sitting in his office, and in his office there's like a bay glass window that leads out to the front part where the reception is and stuff. And his receptionist wasn't there, so I happened to be sitting at that desk for some reason, just making my calls and working on whatever the hell I was doing, writing comedy jokes. And he'd come out and go, "You're writing jokes, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Pick up the phone. You make use of yourself." Anyway, this guy comes in. He's a mailman, right? So he comes in, and he goes and he sits down, and uh, I can't hear what they're saying, but there's a giant window. There's like a 4 by 6 foot window. I can see everything. And so Matt's sitting at his desk facing me, and this mailman guy sitting facing him with his back toward me, and he just keeps doing this all the time. So I'm behind the guy, and I just see him do this. And
Okay.
they're talking and they're talking, and then like pretend this is Matt's head, or pretend this is that guy's head, and I'm Matt. And then he just at one point I was out the window looking this way, and he just does this. He just goes right, and I start cracking up, and I'm like, how is he not laughing? Because then he comes out later and he tells me this is basically what the guy was doing. He just was in there to get insurance from him, and he goes, "I got all kinds of ideas. Here's what you do: you get a pad, and you put Matt's insurance on it with your phone number, and you give it out. It's like pads, and people keep it by the phone, and they write notes, and they're like, 'Oh yeah, Matt,' and then they give you a call, and then he's like, 'You get paper cups, right? You get pins,' and he's got all these promotional ideas for him. He didn't. This is unsolicited. And the guy's just going crazy, crazy, and then Matt says to him something like, 'Oh well, you've got a lot of ideas,' and he goes, yeah, I got some of the heat, right?" So then, and he just kept doing that. I got the heat. I got the heat. He would just wiggle his hand next to his ear. I got the heat. So then that that became a thing, and then when we would go do the improv comedy show, either he or I in a sketch would go, "Yeah, I got the heat," and the other one would just lose it, and then nobody fucking knew what the hell. What are these guys talking about the heat? And we did that for like a year. It was just a little in joke between us, and everyone was super mad at us all the time because we wouldn't tell anybody what it was. And then finally, we told that story, the story I just told you. We told that story from both of our perspectives, and then people were like, "That's it." And I said to Matt, I told you. I said that's one of those things that's fucking like drop dead, lie on the ground, holding your stomach, laughing to us. And I said if we tell
Right.
people this, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, meh."
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
but
Meh.
yeah, that guy was just nuts, and just seeing that and not being able to hear what was happening and then have him explaining it to me was just so funny.
Mhm.
I got the heat.
I got the heat. I got the heat.
Yeah, I got the heat.
We're gonna do it now. It's gonna be our
Yeah,
thing now.
I got a little of the heat.
I got the heat.
Oh, I see. Gwydion is a first subscriber, a founder badge. He's got a founder badge in the chat.
Damn.
Yeah.
29-month subscriber. That's dope.
But I guess
Do I
that
still
first
sound
thing is
bad?
the first 10 people to follow you, I think, is that.
Oh, or like the first 10 people to give you money.
No, I think it's just the first 10
Subscribers.
people to follow you. And they
Ow.
only put it in there like
It's
about 6 months ago, but
subscribers.
huh?
It's got to be subscribers, like the first subscribers.
Here,
He's
I'll
been
go.
subscribed to you for 29 months. He has to be like one of your first ones.
Let's
Do
see.
math. That's like almost 3 years.
Maths. You got the heat.
I got the heat.
According
Like
to
the
Twitch, the founder's
founder's badge.
badge exclusively. Oh, it is exclusively available to the first 10 Prime or paid subs or affiliate channels, and first 25 for partners. Oh, so when I turn partner, it's
Say it
going
again.
to add 15 people.
Say it again.
Interesting.
You're right. Say it again. Say it again.
Robin, you know that thing about I said it was followers, but you said it was subscribers. You were correct.
That's fucking right.
You're absolutely right. Is that the gopher from Caddyshack you were just doing?
Maybe. I've never seen Caddyshack.
God.
It's a golf movie, isn't it?
That's kind of like saying Star Trek is a space show. It's a show that has golf as the backdrop, but it's not about golf. It's about
But it's a
comedy.
golf movie.
No.
I need a shovel.
Keep digging.
Oh my god. My face is hot.
Who has questions? Who's in the chat? Do you guys have questions? Ask Robin a question. Don't ask
While
me.
people are typing their questions, I'm going to tell you a story. So, and this made me really angry. I don't know if it's because I'm a millennial or what. So, Rob, you'll be the judge.
Okay.
But last week, like in the middle of the week and through the weekend, I did what most people tend to do. I cleaned everybody's closets, right? I went through my closet. I went through my husband.
This is what most people do, you're saying.
You don't clean your closet like once a year or something like that? Spring cleaning.
But you clean other people's closets. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I have children. I'm a fucking mom. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Okay. So I cleaned my husband's closet with his, because I didn't want him to throw out things that, like, he's like, no, I love that shirt, So
right.
I was like, hey, honey, come in here and, like, give me a pile of shit you don't want. Right? And then I did the same for me. And then I went through all my boys' clothes and I bagged up everything, right? And, like, we're clean people and, most of our clothes are in good condition. So I was like, oh, let's just donate these like a good person would do, right? So I got 4 bags full of clothes and I got rid of everything that wasn't, what I would consider donatable. Like if the pants had a hole in them, I threw it away. Okay. Good person. So I like bag up all this stuff and I'm like, oh, this is all, very gently used, nice clothes. And there's this donation thing, like a bin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In a parking lot somewhere, right?
Yeah, and it's literally right down the road from our house. So we go and we put the clothes in and we shut it and we're like, feel really good. We're like, okay, that's nice. Some homeless person or some family down on their luck is going to open this and see all these clothes, men's clothes, women's clothes, children's clothes. Like, that's fucking awesome. If I was down on my luck, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Anyways, whatever. So I Googled later on, I was like, well, what do they do with the clothes and how do people who need them get them out of the bin? Because it was, you like pull the thing down, you put your bag on, you close it, and the bags fall into the bin.
Right.
So how do people who need things get the things? I was very worried about this. So I Googled it. Apparently, this company, they take the clothes out of the bins and then they sell them in a thrift store. I was so mad. I was like legitimately angry because I just donated to somebody who's going to make profit off of everything I just put in there. And I was really angry. Is that because I'm a millennial or what? But I was super mad.
But like we
donations on it.
We have
for sale at a thrift store. That's fucking dumb. Made me mad.
So here, let me tell you what we have. It's similar, but the bins that we have here are directly for Salvation Army or Goodwill or whatever. They belong to them.
But at least that's what it says.
Yeah,
on it,
and then
right?
they come and they pick them up and then they take them in their stores and sell them. But there's not a person that's like an intermediary that picks up the stuff and then goes and sells it and makes money to the Goodwill. That's fucking ridiculous.
Right.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
So my problem wouldn't be. It's like I don't have a problem. I mean, let me back up. I do have a problem with Donald Trump, but I more have a problem with someone who votes for him. Like so my problem wouldn't necessarily be with a person trying to make money. My problem would be with the person whose parking lot that lets them do that. Like that would be what I would be upset about.
And for me, it's the opposite. Whoever, imagine you're the store owner there and somebody was like, hey, can we put our bins here? It's for charity. It's for clothing donations. And you own that business. You'd be like, yeah, sure. Of course, because most people want to do good, right? That's how I view the whole world.
Yeah.
I think more people out there want to do good than want to do bad. So if I, owned a corner store or whatever, and somebody was like, hey, can we put a donation bin here? I'd be like, yeah, sure, great, helping the neighborhood, cool, I'm fine with that. And I think that these bins, because it's just a big blue bin and it says shoes and clothes donations, there's not much else on the bins. To me, it's very misleading.
Oh, it's very misleading. I don't like it. I want to get. I need to know where the office is. I need to know where I should march down to and talk to them.
I even, like, in my head, I didn't tell anybody, but I was like, I wonder how hard it would be to go fish my bags out of the box so that I could take them to, like, a church or a homeless shelter or somewhere where I'm actually donating them to the people who need them, and not somebody getting to take them to their thrift store and make money.
There's a company here called, oh God, what is it? What are they called? They call me all the time, and I donate sometimes. But I forget the name. But anyway, the names are not important. But they'll literally come to your house and pick stuff up. You just have to.
Oh, that's cool.
You have to put it in a bag outside on your porch or whatever, and you have to label it with a piece of paper saying, have to write their company name on it so they know. Don't take you accidentally took my bag of toys I left out on the porch that I didn't want. Whatever. They don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah.
But they don't then take that stuff and then go sell it. They take it and they give it to the proper people.
Right. Yeah. And
that's like an evil scam, Robin.
I know, right?
It's
it made me really mad after the fact because I felt like I could have just looked up places first.
Yeah.
And we could have taken them to those places in the first place, and this never would have happened. But there's like a women's shelter in the next town over, which would have been perfect because I did have baby clothes in there and kids' clothes. And I imagine a lot of women who need to stay at women's shelters are oftentimes, mothers leaving a bad home situation or whatever. So we could have done that. There's a few homeless shelters and soup kitchens and churches that have what they call Plato's closets type things, where they have food and clothes and stuff like that in the church for those in need. And anything like that. No, I put them in a big blue bin where somebody's gonna pick it up and go sell it, which just made me so mad. And I just whatever. There's nothing I can do about it now. It's done. It's over with.
The biggest question about that is, why am I giving it to you to go sell when I could just go down to the thrift store and sell it myself? Why?
Right.
You're doing me this great service by misleading me in the first place. Oh, I'd be mad. Yeah. Yep. So no, I don't think it's because you're a millennial. I think it's because you're a person.
Yeah.
You should be mad.
I just wanted them to go, to a good. I just remember when my first son was really little, I was super poor. Okay, living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes I don't know if I'm going to pay the electric bill this month. Poor, really poor. I ate ramen noodles so that I could feed my kid Gerber baby food. You know what I mean? And I was a single mom. And with him, I always shopped at the thrift stores or Goodwill, wherever I could get clothes for him for super cheap or for free.
Right.
So for because I've had that experience, I have it in my heart, a special place for people going through kind of the same situation. And I just wanted to help somebody, but whatever. Ugh. In scummy blue boxes. Don't put your clothes in the blue boxes if you Oh, made me so mad. Okay, anyways, your turn. What do you got? What else did you do?
Let's see. Well, I mean, if you want to go through the list of shit that pisses me off, I mean, we can't. There's not enough. Oh wow. There's just so much. Nothing I haven't ever said before, but.
Right.
I really wish. Yeah, here's what. Okay, so here's what I don't get. My friend. This is the best way to. This is the shortest way to describe it. My friend calls me the other day and he goes, "Oh, I'm so glad COVID-19 is over." And I go, and I knew exactly what he meant. I knew exactly what he meant when he said that because, it's very important that we protest. It's very important that we stand up for the rights of American citizens, whether that be equal rights or anything else that's wrong in this fucked up country, right? The greatest country in the world.
Mhm.
It's very important that we do that, but it seems that all of a sudden in the last 2 weeks since the protests began, like half the people forgot there was a pandemic and they're not wearing masks and they're not social distancing. And that's the kind of shit that really makes me, it's like, oh my God, you're doing something good, but you're fucking other shit up while you're doing it. Like, it makes me crazy. And like, I saw a thing on the news where this is how it was in Manhattan. It was at like a bodega in Manhattan. Maybe not a bodega, but a bigger store, like a regular grocery store. Everyone in the store had masks on except this one woman without, and she was pushing her cart around shopping for groceries without a mask. And all the other people with masks were yelling, "Get the fuck out of here!" They were just like yelling at her.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like, yes, this is what needs to be happening everywhere. Because I swear, here in my town, now granted, in my county, which is about 500,000 people, there's only been 35 people killed by COVID-19. So 35 people. That's 35 too many, but it's not crazy numbers like everywhere else.
Like
so
Chicago?
People go to the grocery store
here.
and they don't have a mask. And I'm like, and I'm the one, like, I'm the person being stared at with my mask. Like waiting in the taped line to go to the pharmacy, you know, tape this position, this position, this position.
Right, yeah.
And I'm being looked at like I'm a freak. Now, all the employees all have masks. Everyone that works there knows, you know, but the people that are in there, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I just live in a town where it's just stupid white trash. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because where I live in Lake County, Illinois. That's my county. And we have the second most cases in all of Illinois. And the next county over, Cook County, has number one, the most, the most cases, because we're so close to Chicago. Everybody works in Cook County but lives in Lake County. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we're tangentially joined at the hip, so if there's cases there's gonna be cases here because everybody lives out here in Lake County where all the lakes are. And yeah, it's really bad, but I think because it's so bad, everybody seems to be pretty hyper vigilant about masks and social distancing and stuff.
Right.
We did though. We also live a mile from Wisconsin, and in Wisconsin, they were like one of the first people to end their stay-at-home order, and most people in Wisconsin aren't wearing masks. We go there sometimes for shopping because there's a couple like shopping areas just over the border in Wisconsin, Kenosha. And so we'll go to, the Walmart in Kenosha or whatever, and people don't wear masks. And I'm like, my 2-year-old wears a mask really well, might I add. Like, 2-year-olds will just fucking mess with everything you give them. No, my 2-year-old will wear his mask. Super good. I'm gonna show you a picture because it's really cute. But if my 2-year-old can wear a mask for an hour shopping trip in Walmart, your 37-year-old ass can't.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
it's so funny because I predict, like, Washington State is in phase 1 of reopening, and my prediction, we're going to go to phase 2 soon. Phase 2 is bars and restaurants. And as far as I'm concerned, phase 3 will be 3 more months of quarantine because people are just going to be fucked up.
Yes.
And, I get it. You're unemployed. You got to get back to your job, all that. I get it. I understand. But you can... See? That kid's 2, everybody.
2 years old, and he wears his mask and doesn't mess with it and doesn't take it off. Covers his nose, mouth, everything. That's the shining example of mask wearing.
I agree.
People need to get their shit together.
It just gets me so upset that people. And the other thing is that I don't think whether it's television or the newspapers, if people still read those, or magazines, or whatever your source of news is, Trevor Noah, whatever the fuck you use to get your news, they're not doing a good enough job of reminding people that the reason you wear a mask isn't for you, it's for me.
That's right.
And if I see you out and you don't have a mask, that means you have no respect for my life, which they don't rightfully need to have, but in a nice society you would, you know.
I think everybody should care about other people.
And then the other
more
thing
than themselves.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, I mean, I generally have a disdain for religious people anyway, but so many people I see, God will protect me.
Oh Lord, no.
I'm like, oh Lord, no. That's a good one. That's good.
That was intentional. I don't have a problem with people who are religious, or I know so many. I was, raised very religious.
Yeah,
I think it's great. It has its benefits. Good for you. That's, my opinion on that. That's as much as I'll say anyways. But it won't keep you from getting sick.
Yeah, like my mother and I, when she was alive, we would go to this holistic doctor, and I still go there. But the nearby nuns from the nunnery, I don't know, where do they make nuns? I don't know. The convent, I don't know what they were. They were blue. They didn't wear black. They were blue. But they would come there, and we would always see them there. And I said to my mom one time, why do they come here? And she goes, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, won't God just cure their sickness? Like, why do they have to come to the doctor? And she's like, oh my God, that's a good point. Like, they're always talking about how the Lord will see me through anything. Well, why are you at the dentist? Why are you at the doctor? Yeah. Why do you even eat food? Why do you do anything? God's going to help you. Yeah.
We probably shouldn't get too much into it on stream.
Don't get me started! Dr. Fauci was on the news today talking about how effective masks have been. Yes.
I assume it was like, masks are great, keep wearing them, I would assume, right?
Yeah. Like, I doubt he came on and said, oh, remember all that shit I said about masks? Yeah, that was all fucking bullshit. You can just take them right off. Yeah, I don't think so.
It's so funny, because, like, I have a lot of friends who are Asian immigrants. I know a lot of Asian immigrants, or their parents were Asian immigrants, and they come from countries like Korea, Japan, Vietnam, et cetera, right? And, like, in those countries, it's really common, if you get sick, to wear a mask if you need to go out in public.
Oh, right.
Or if you are, or if you're elderly and you go out in public, they wear masks very commonly so as to not get sick, right? It's super common, especially in like Japan, China, they're pretty good.
Yep.
Korea. And I have always had friends who, they would do it in America, and people would give them weird looks like they had cancer or something, because pretty much only previous, in America, only cancer patients and stuff like that would wear masks in public. And they were like, it's so weird, because here it's not that common. And I was like, look, now we've had the coronavirus. Hopefully moving forward, when people are sick, if they have the flu or the cold or something, if they go out in public, maybe now they'll wear fucking mask. Maybe it will be
not gonna happen.
Stigmatized. Oh, I fucking hope so, though. Like,
that's definitely
it's so
a wish.
Smart,
right?
But
people,
like it's.
But who, I don't know if you know this, but most people aren't smart.
I know, and Americans in general
are especially.
I probably shouldn't generalize Americans before everybody gets mad at me, but Americans generally can be very self-centered.
Yeah, well, and also just not book smart. Like, my favorite thing to do is to tell somebody, people just generally aren't that smart. And they go, oh, Rod, that's a bad attitude. That's not true. And I'll be like, how many members of Congress? And they'll go, I don't know that. And I'm like, see?
You're right,
and they're like, well, just because I don't know that one fact. And then, then I'll just start going at them. Like, I used to do this in my comedy act. I'd go, how many numbers from 1 to 10? I'd get somebody up on stage with me, and then I'd go, how many numbers from 1 to 10? And they go, 10. I go, very good. And I go, how many numbers from 10 to 20? And they go, 10. And I go, no, it's not. It's 11. And then they're like, what? This is a trick. And then I go, count it out on your fingers. And they'd go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You're tricking me. You're tricking me. And I go, and then I just look at the audience and go, most of you said 10 too, didn't you? And it's just, I mean, people don't fucking think. And then those little common facts that I like to call them that everyone should know. That's just a virus of itself that spreads, and people are just fucking stupid. It makes me insane. I don't want people to be stupid, but they are. They're just stupid.
Right. I've encountered many a person in America where I was just like, how did you finish high school?
Yeah.
Did you finish high school?
Bane TBC says common sense is not common. That's fucking brilliant.
That's right.
That's super brilliant, dude. That's totally true. Oh my god. Vex, I showed up just in time to call everyone stupid. Yeah, but that's you can drop in on my streams at any moment in any stream, and there's a chance I'm gonna say that.
The chances are super high.
I just don't have confidence in most people that live in this country, and I do think it is a uniquely American. I mean, I'm sure there's stupid people in other countries, but I think I think per capita, it's America. Yeah. I mean,
and I lost my train of thought.
What are you, stupid? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I generally think I'm not very stupid. I do have stupid moments.
Well, everyone has stupid moments. I, of course, have many. I can tell the difference between somebody who makes mistakes and somebody who's just a dolt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really tend to associate with people who are not smart.
I have my moments. But no, I mean, like, there have been times when, like, my husband would ask me for something and I would understand what he was saying, but it just, like, wouldn't click. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. So I've definitely had, like, I don't know what you would call that, like, not brain dead, but, like, something's just not working in there and I can't put two and two together.
Well, but there's a big difference between, like, having a momentary lapse or being absent-minded sometimes or whatever. There's a difference.
I'm very absent-minded.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, people have different things about them, but there's a difference between being that, having those types of things happen in your life, and the other side of the spectrum, which is the kid at the store who doesn't know how to make change. Like, that's fucking, that's just, like, world stupid right there. Like, if I give you $1 and it was 71 cents and you have to use the cash register or the calculator to give me my money back, you are fucking not even, you shouldn't even have that job, you know? It just makes me crazy.
Yeah.
And the biggest one is when, like, you go somewhere and you go to 7-Eleven and you buy something and it costs 55 cents and you give them $1.05. And they go, oh, and they try to give you the nickel back. Oh, no, that's too much, sir. That's too much. And I'm like,
no, we want 2 quarters back, you dumb
I know, just trust me. Punch it into the machine and see what you get. And they go, oh, 50 cents. Oh, because you wanted 2 quarters. And I'm like, very good, you know, and I feel like, oh my God, I feel like.
Yeah, you see those gumball machines? I kind of want to use them.
I actually did that once. I go, you're right. I did that exact thing. I go, you're right. And I took the nickel back, and then, you know, he gave me 45 cents or whatever. And I go, now I'm going to take this 45 cents that you gave me, and I'm going to go over there and buy 2 gumballs. And the guy goes, oh, sir, you're going to need a quarter for that. And I go, oh, well, here, take these 2 dimes you gave me and this fucking nickel that I tried to give you earlier. And the kid just turned completely beet red. It was awesome. It was fucking awesome.
No shit, Sherlock. Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't say that. Oh, man, it's really hard because, like, with my kids, for example, they'll do things that I'm like, when I was your age, I specifically remember being able to do XYZ or whatever, and my kids will throw a big stink about, like, the dumbest shit, you know? Like loading the dishwasher or taking out the trash. I'm trying to think of things that aren't chores, but it escapes me right now. But, you know, my kids will make, like, this big stink about it. I'm like, you guys, when I was your age, my parents were so shitty, like crappy parents. I was doing my own laundry, making my own food, washing all the dishes, keeping my room clean, keeping the rest of the house clean. So fucking eat dicks, basically. Is, you know,
eat dicks, little punks.
And they're like,
wouldn't you just love to be able to tell your kids, or especially other people's kids,
yes,
eat dick, eat a dick.
And they're like, oh, but the dishes are so hard, Mom. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, I don't say that to them, of course. Obviously, I say, well, tough shit. I do tell them tough shit
Tough
all the time.
titties.
I don't really
Yeah.
care that much about cursing in front of my kids. Other people are bewildered by it, but I personally don't see a problem with it because they're going to hear curse words everywhere else anyway. So, like,
Yeah.
what's the point? But
Like,
I also like a lot.
I don't understand. I mean, I see it, and I know why it's there. All these, and I'm not a parent. Let's just be honest.
For
But
dumb reasons, so
all,
let's be honest.
all the use your words, buddy. Use your word. Parents. I see. Oh God. And then the biggest one for me, and I've had to leave sometimes. Like when I see bad parenting, I just get up and walk out. I don't say anything. I just walk out. I get a call later. What was that? I go, I couldn't watch anymore. I just couldn't watch. Like, what are you talking about? I go, the empty threats you make to your kids, no dessert, no dessert, no dessert, do this or no dessert, do this or no dessert. They don't do it, you give them dessert. Like, what the fuck is that? And they go,
No,
we're trying to, I don't want to hear it.
I threaten my kids all the time, but I also follow through.
Yeah, you gotta follow through, because then they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna grow up and go, they're gonna be at college or something, and I mean, if it gets that far, they're gonna be like, this or this, this, do this or don't get this, do this or don't get this, and they're gonna be like, yeah, I'll get it anyway, and then they don't get it, they'll be like, what the fuck?
Yep. With the little ones, it's like usually just timeout or no fucking YouTube. Oh my god, my kids love YouTube so much, it's disgusting.
Hey,
Or
by the
Minecraft.
way,
Minecraft is the other one. They love Minecraft.
So did you know that in YouTube's terms of service, you have to be 17 to use it? Did you know that?
There's like a kids YouTube.
Oh,
now.
is there? Okay. Because
there's like YouTube Kids.
My friend's son, who's 10 now, he's autistic. He was obsessed with YouTube, and that's all he wanted to do, like 24/7. And so my friend he goes, I'm gonna try something, and he showed him the terms of service, and the kid was mortified. He was mortified. He was like, "Oh my god!" And they got the calendar out, and now he just walks around, and every couple weeks or whatever, he'll just say to his dad, "April 28th, 2024," and he'll go, "Yep, that's right," and he's counting the days until he's 17.
Oh, bless
or 2027, whatever the hell it is. But
like my 12-year-old watches regular YouTube. I don't care because he's so innocent, he's not been scarred by the world. So like all the stuff he watches is literally gaming related things. Or he watches like science things because he really likes archaeology and dinosaurs, and so like sometimes he'll Google, what did a brachiosaurus look like or whatever, and he'll watch YouTube videos about that. And then that's pretty much it. He's still super innocent for being 12 years old. It's pretty awesome. He doesn't, as far as we know, and we have like everything on super lockdown. Like we're very millennial parents. We know how to like see everything they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I mean, as far as we can tell, he's not looking at porn and stuff like that. So so far so good. And even if he did, we would just have a regular conversation with him about it, and be like, okay, this is what's normal, this is what's probably not normal, and if you need to ask us any questions, we're always here. And that's just like the kind of parents that we are, because I don't feel like protecting your kids from everything out there in the world. I think informing them is better parenting.
Yes, and you need to let them fail and make mistakes and learn lessons, and otherwise they're going to be such pusses when they get to college or whatever. And then that's another. Oh my god, don't get me started on the safe rooms, and everybody's got to go to their safe room, and they got to.
That's dumb. I've never even heard of that. So I think what I think is, I think there's a lot of crap out there that millennials get flack for that isn't even true. Like when I was in elementary school and middle school and high school, we never had like cards when we were playing sports that we could use to say it's too much, or
what the fuck?
We never had that shit, and I'm a millennial, okay? And I grew up in California, the most liberal left-leaning place on earth, and we didn't have that kind of stuff.
But there's two categories. There's two categories of liberals: people that are progressive and like new ideas and want to try new things and everything. That's fine. And then the other's this group of just crazy people. They're just nuts.
Right. And I've met them all.
The participation.
They
trophies.
all live in California.
Yeah. There's just like, you know, there was like a Honda commercial where the guy's son gets a participation trophy and the dad takes it and goes, no. And I was like, yes, Honda, I'm going to buy Hondas now.
Right.
But
so, you know, that was always a thing that I always felt like the media or the internet got wrong about millennial. We never had fucking timeout cards. This is too much, you know, or we didn't have that kind of stuff. Yes. Well, okay. I never even got participation trophies. Everybody said that was a millennial thing too. No, bitch, no. Okay. I did
bitch, no.
so much like group sports. I was in theater. I was in choir. I was in marching band. I played soccer. I played softball. And I played volleyball and I ran track throughout my whole life. Okay. I never got a fucking participation trophy for shit. If I didn't get bronze medal, silver medal, gold medal when I was running track, I didn't get jack shit. If I wasn't voted best actor or best supporting actor for our fucking spring play, I didn't get jack shit. Okay. So there was none of this bullshit that millennials are constantly accused of. So I didn't grow up like that. I don't know if that's
it's
the new thing or what. I don't know.
I'll tell you where it started to get fucked up is parents that are my age. So Gen X parents started this whole fucking fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, because everybody's got to feel
supported. Everybody's got to feel worthy and whatever. You know, no, if you weren't the first, second, or third place, then no, you're not good enough. Try harder. Not, it's okay, run along now. Fuck that.
Well, I mean, I think there's a fine balance of both. Because sometimes, if my kids are upset, I will fucking sugarcoat shit. I'll be like, it's okay, you'll get it next time.
Well, that's fine. Encouragement's okay, but to actually reward mediocrity is not. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. But yeah, if my kids do a good job, I'm going to tell them they did a good job, which I think some generations in the past are notorious for not doing. I think baby boomers weren't told good job enough. And that's why a lot of baby boomers
I was laughing out loud. I was guffawing because the Spinator says, I'm a boomer. We got beat. The end.
Yeah, I mean, like, so my parents were baby boomers, and their parents were fucked up. Like, we'll just the Depression era parents, like if they would like put their babies in, you know, the little strollers, buggies was what they probably called them back then. They would put their babies in strollers and like leave them there for like 6 hours. Like just crying, and that was a normal thing to do with newborn baby. That's fucking insane. I could never do that, you know. So I mean, I think baby boomers and their parents' generation, there was a lot of fucked up shit going on. So
well,
I watched a lot of documentaries.
Over time, shit that's normal becomes not normal. Like slavery was normal, right? That was the thing,
right? Exactly,
and it's not now. You're not supposed to do that. I don't think it's legal, but yeah. So I agree that newer methods and better things that work differently and things change and evolve and all that. But some of these ideas are just, you know, these helicopter and bulldozer parents. It's not good for the kids. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. And you want to know who's going to fix everything?
With my first one.
Uncle Rob. Just send him to me for a day. Just send him over for one day, and they'll come back and they'll be like, oh, I get it now.
No, I was helicopter-y-ish with my first one, but like by the time the next one came and the next one came, it's so hard to be that. I find it exasperating to be a helicopter parent. I would rather kids please go outside, leave mommy alone. You know what I mean? And like just send them out and fucking go play, and that'd be that. But when it was just my first one, I mean, I was fucking with him 24/7. You know what I mean? But I still like he adjusted pretty well, and as the family grew, he's actually like the most independent of all my kids because he's the oldest. I don't know. But even though I was a little helicoptery with him when he was like a toddler, I think he's just fine. So I course corrected just in time.
Yeah. Well, and I get that any parent's gonna make mistakes. They're gonna try things that don't work and whatever. But to adopt a philosophy that's just nuts, overall, like stuff.
Like, they might hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody
you need them to hurt themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's okay for kids to hurt themselves as long as they don't die. Then that's whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Beck said
if there's blood, then I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Also, if they have to go to the hospital, that costs money. So let's just try not to.
Yeah.
But, why does Uncle Rob swear so much? These are Gwydian's kids, whom I've never met.
There's nothing wrong with swearing.
Vex said that they banned Confederate flags at NASCAR events today. So that's cool.
That is cool.
I mean, should have been 40 years ago, but that's cool.
Yes. I read a story that you know what? It doesn't matter because I don't remember it. So next.
Schmo's asking if you're feeling better.
I am feeling better. So I streamed on Monday and I felt flu-ish, like I had flu-like symptoms. And it couldn't be coronavirus because I like never go out. But then I was like, oh well, my mom and my brother have been coming over a lot. And my mom, one, works at Walmart. Granted, my mom's like kind of mid-level management, somewhere between like customer service manager and store manager, somewhere in between that like area. So I was like, well, I don't know how much she like actually interacts with people. I think she kind of does her own thing. But my brother works at Menards, which is like Home Depot kind of. And so they've been coming over and I was like, motherfuckers, they are like seeing people all day, every day because they have regular jobs. And then they're coming over here and then I got sick. But it turned out to be just like maybe like a 24-hour thing. I feel fine. My throat is still a little, whatever.
That's so funny because Monday I felt like shit the whole day and then it went away the next day.
Yeah, I felt like crap. Like, yeah, that is weird. I was tired. I was achy. My stomach kind of hurt. And, I was all congested. And I had a horrible headache. That was the worst part. I had like an all day long headache. The kind where you like wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I kind of have a headache. I'll take some Tylenol or Advil or whatever and hope it goes away. But then it doesn't. I just had one of those kind of headaches. It was so bad. Like by the end of the day, I was like, I just want to go stand in the shower and let water fall on me and go to sleep. Like my head hurt so bad. So that was my Monday.
Yeah, Monday wasn't good for everybody.
It was not good, but I do feel a lot better. Yes. Yeah. So that was my worry. I was like, oh gosh, I feel like I have the flu. I hope it's not coronavirus. I hope my mom and my brother didn't bring me coronavirus. That's where I was going with that story. They didn't though. I feel fine, and I never had like chest pains or like respiratory problems. So I feel pretty confident that it's not coronavirus.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, it was just Monday. Woot woot. I'm glad you're feeling better too then.
Yeah, I just
Isn't your D&D game on Monday?
It's on Tuesday. Is it 5e pickup games? Yeah. I felt
no, not that one. Your regular campaign game.
Friday and Saturday.
What day is that on? Friday and Saturday. Okay.
So you were so close. You were so very close.
I was so close. Totally.
Wait, Gwydian, are those your girls? 11 and 14? That can't be true. They were just like 8. They were just like 8 and 11 3 years ago. Oh well, I guess the math would make sense, wouldn't it? I used to do Module Creation Monday.
I know why. Why did you stop doing that?
I don't really do modules anymore.
Oh, that makes sense.
I mean, I do, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. if you know what I mean.
Now I'm doing Module Creation Monday.
You're doing it. I knew you wanted to do it, so I didn't want you to feel bad that you were screwing me, so I just quit so that you could just do it. That's why I did.
There were so many jokes I could have made because you said something funny.
That's usually how it goes. Wow! Oh, no wonder, Gwydion. Oh my God.
You said you didn't want me to feel like I was screwing you. Those were your words, not mine.
Yes, I don't want any person to feel like they're screwing me. I want them to actually. Okay,
know that
joke.
They're screwing you?
Yeah, well, see, I was gonna also make a joke, and I didn't do as good as you, which was just not to say anything. I went halfway through it and decided this is gonna backfire in my fucking face, so never mind. I did that a lot on stage. I would make shit up as I was going, and I would literally change my thought in the middle of what I was saying because I thought, oh, I just can't say that. Like I'm gonna get mobbed up. Yeah.
Follow through.
And then like there would be just this silence, and I'd go, that wasn't really very funny, but it's because I changed what I was gonna say. Do you guys want to hear what I was gonna say? Yeah, you have a giant, of course that's baiting the audience, right? And I go, you don't want to hear it. And they go, yeah. And it used to really make me laugh hard when I would say it, and more often than not, there'd be someone in the audience who would go, yeah, you're right, you shouldn't have said that. and then I would just laugh for like 5 minutes.
Fucking hecklers.
I hate hecklers.
Hate them.
I was pretty good at handling hecklers, though. It's hard to do it online, but in a live room, it's easy.
I don't like them when I'm like a spectator in the crowd and there's hecklers. I don't like them. I find them to be so distracting and so rude. I don't like them.
Yeah, I was never mean, or I wouldn't attack audiences, but I would fucking go for the jugular with a heckler. I would do stuff like, I would say, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Everybody, if you would just turn and look at the gentleman here that I'm pointing at that table, he really wants attention, so let's all give him attention. Go ahead, sir. What was it you were saying? And then just fucking, melt down. The only time that would backfire is if the person was so drunk that they were completely not self-aware, and then they would go, well, I'd like to tell you a story. And I'm like, that's it. Security, whatever. I didn't like to kick people out, but I had to do it sometimes. Thespinator has a level of confidence in my being able to handle hecklers. Yeah.
I can't handle. I don't know. I'm not very good with. You know what I really struggle with? I really struggle with people I don't see eye to eye with. I'm not a very good fighter. Like I don't fight with people very well. I'm basically a doormat. Like as soon as somebody's like, I have a problem with you or whatever, I just.
There's a couple tricks you can use with people though if they're heckling you. Like you can say it almost is universally applicable to, like you can get them to give you the most innocuous piece of information and then just turn it around on them with attitude. Like get them to talk to you, right? And then you can say, what do you do for a living? And then no matter what the job is that they say, you can just go, oh, well, no wonder. And people will fucking just die laughing because it's like, it doesn't matter what the answer is.
But what if they're like a doctor or a teacher or a firefighter?
I mean, even so, you can say, I mean, I was pretty good at following it up with, with explanation. Like that would give me time to think, right? And then if they would go, well, what do you mean by that? What's wrong with being a firefighter? And I'm like, well, you rush into hot buildings all the time. You're obviously flustered. You got, maybe you have maybe you got a little of the heat. Yeah.
Got a little heat.
You bring it all back.
Yeah. Dude, you're like a professional comedian.
I was. I did that for 15 years.
Oh my god!
I do miss. I
had
do
to
miss
get that one out.
I miss being on stage, but I don't miss the other 23 hours a day that went with it.
Right. Yeah. When I was in high school, and very briefly when I went to college, I really wanted to be. I really wanted to be an actress. Like really, really wanted it, and I really miss like doing theater, being on stage, entertaining people. Being in productions, it was like a huge dream of mine. Obviously, I rightfully gave it up because I don't have the face of an actress. I made the right decision in life, but
I don't believe that.
really,
I don't like that. I don't like you saying that.
well, I don't
like
mean
I don't have the face of an
uh,
actor either, but I could have been in anything. I
yeah,
could have
but
been in
it's
stuff.
different for men than it is for women.
I mean, I don't know. There's some Kira Sedgwick's face is pretty fucked up. I mean,
I
as
don't know
far
who
as
that is.
that's Kevin Bacon's wife.
Oh,
Here
well,
comes
and she's an
the part,
actress.
everybody, where she says Kevin Bacon. Who's that?
I know who Kevin Bacon is, actually. I really like Kevin Bacon.
What was
He
Kevin
was in
Bacon's
this
first
movie.
movie?
I don't know what his first movie is, but I saw him in a movie and it made me really like him. Okay, isn't that good enough for you, Rob?
I like the way that you said I don't know what his first movie was, with just a tinge of how dare you in it. I just love how you said that. It wasn't Friday the 13th. That was maybe his second movie. His first movie was Animal House. All is well.
I've never seen that.
And Footloose was way later.
I've never seen Footloose.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I mean,
it's a cultural phenomenon, but you don't need to see
right.
it.
I've seen clips of it. I'm pretty sure I've seen like the most famous, that dance clip, right? That's from Footloose.
That dance clip, yeah, that's from Footloose.
I can feel you judging me.
No, I'm not judging. I'm not.
Okay.
All the judging you feel me judging you. I've already way judged you a long time ago.
Okay,
so,
yeah. I mean, it's already been all laid out on the table. We all know Robin doesn't watch a lot of movies. Okay, that's like dead in the water. The Kevin Bacon movie I have seen that I loved. It was a movie. Maybe you'll know the name of it because I can't think of the name of it, but I'll give you a synopsis. And if you haven't seen it, I'll apologize now for the spoilers because I know you don't like them. But I have to describe the movie to you in the hopes that you have seen it so you can tell me what it's called. Okay?
Okay.
Are we on agreed terms here?
Yeah, but start at the beginning and don't give away spoilers if you don't have to. Like start at the beginning.
He's in the military.
Oh, is this A Few Good Men? Does it have Tom Cruise in it?
No.
Okay.
No. And or maybe he's not in the military anymore.
Is it about he's
definitely still in the military.
Bringing soldiers home to
yes.
Yeah, I know the movie. I don't know the name of it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's such a good movie though, and quite possibly the best movie I've ever seen Kevin Bacon in. I think because I don't think I've seen any of his other movies. It's not Taps. No, it's newer-ish, like in the last decade, easily. 2000 something is when it
Is
came
it
out.
called Taking Chance?
Yes, that's
there you
the
go.
movie.
2009. There you go.
Movie. I saw that and I was like, wow, I really like this Kevin Bacon guy.
Yeah. Do you know about the game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Oh.
Okay, so there's this game. It's been around for like 20 years or more. And it's called 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon because you're supposed to be able to name any actor or actress, and you can find a path of who they've worked with in different shows to get to Kevin Bacon within 6 times. And it's really, and there used to be a website for it, and there might still be a website for it, but
has he just been like in a lot of movies?
He's been in a lot of movies, but he's also been in a lot of diverse, worked with many different people. So, so and so knows so and so that knows so and so, and they worked, so
I saw a trailer for a movie that Kevin Bacon is in that's coming out soon that I would really like to watch. It's like a scary movie or a horror film. It's called You Should Have Left, I think is what the movie is called. It looked really good. And it has a girl from Mean Girls in it. I've seen Mean Girls. Hallelujah. It's got the blonde girl.
Amanda Seyfried, you're talking about.
Yes, her. Thank you. And I think awesome. She's awesome. She's an awesome actress if you consider the range of roles that she's been in, right? Like if you look at the characters she played in Mean Girls, ditzy, dumb, blonde,
Yeah.
that was her character. That was it. Like super flat, super boring. But then I saw her in another movie where she should have got a fucking Oscar. Like she was so good in it. I can't remember what movie it was. And then I saw the trailer for this movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the same girl. And like this is like a scary movie, and she's playing a more serious role. I don't know. I was really impressed. I think she's a fantastic actress, and I don't care what people say.
It's on demand everywhere, June 18th.
You should
It's
have
on Prime, Apple TV, Xfinity, Vudu, Google Play, Fandango Now, and more ways to watch.
Oh, what are
From
the other ways?
Blumhouse
'Cause I
producer
don't
The
have.
Invisible Man, Kevin Bacon, and Amanda Seyfried. You should have left. Here, I'll
Is it
show
on
everybody.
Hulu or Netflix? Did
It
you say
doesn't.
Amazon Prime? That's probably the only way I could watch it.
It's on Prime, Apple, Xfinity, Fandango Now, Google Play, Vudu, YouTube, Verizon, Microsoft,
YouTube.
Spectrum, Cox, DirecTV, Dish, Redbox, and PlayStation. And I'll bet you all those avenues you have to pay for it.
Oh yeah, I mean Prime maybe not. Amazon Prime Video.
Amazon Prime has paid stuff too. Yeah,
I know, it's
they
so
disappoint
dumb.
me quite often.
I wanted to watch Xena Warrior Princess, and I had to buy every single season. They made me really sad.
I've met
Yes, I
Lucy
like that hot
Lawless.
garbage. I love Lucy Lawless.
I love her too.
So TV is like way more my forte. I know a lot more TV shows than I do movies, and I love me some Lucy Lawless. She was in Spartacus, fucking amazing in Spartacus. If you haven't seen Spartacus, you should watch it. She was obviously Xena, our warrior goddess. I mean princess.
I never saw even one episode of Xena.
What?
I know. So do you want to hear my Lucy Lawless story?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she comes into where I'm working, which at the time was the cell phone store in Studio City, California. And
I hate you so much.
I'm like, so does everyone else that worked with me that day. Because I happen to be the closest person that she came into the door or whatever. And I saw people just started to swarm. And I shot everybody the look like, nope, she's mine. And so she bought a phone from me, and she had this assistant with her. And, she's like 6 feet 2 inches tall or whatever. She had this assistant with her who was just a complete, I mean, she was the C word. She was just complete bad person. And just was nasty with me and everything. And she was great. Lucy Lawless is great. So I got her all set up, and then she goes and she leaves. And then she comes back in by herself. And she comes back to me and she goes, Rob, I just want to tell you, a lot of times people were, and I didn't say anything about Xena, or I think I might have mentioned Battlestar Galactica one time. I might have said, oh, I just really love you on Galactica or whatever. It might have been the most I said with any fanboy shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
She comes back in and she goes, I just want to tell you how nice it was to have a conversation with somebody for 20 or 25 minutes, however long we talked. And it was just about what we were doing, and you're very professional, and I really appreciate that. And I'm really sorry for my assistant. So she was acknowledging to me that her assistant was a bitch too.
Aww.
And
Yeah.
I said thank you so much for saying that. I didn't really have a good day, but it was really good after you came in. And she was like, oh, and I said, and by the way, you're married? And she goes, yeah, I am.
Aww.
So it was nice of her to like play like, oh, but if I wasn't,
Aww.
And then she left,
I
and then
fucking love her.
yeah, I ever since then I've been I've met a lot of celebrities, and most of them are dicks. I mean, most of them are just Tim Allen is a fucking dick.
So.
Leah Remini she's horrible.
As a dick. Leah who?
Leah Remini, the wife on King of Queens.
She's
yeah, 20 times worse than the character. Like, she's just a fucking complete dick. And
I just have such a big girl crush on Lucy Lawless.
Yeah, I had a girl crush on her too. Holy shit.
You're not a girl, so it's not a girl crush.
No, but I have a vagina.
You know.
I do. I love it.
I just love her. I love her. I think it would be like my dying, like it's on my bucket list to just like shake her hand or just like meet her.
Yeah, I did shake her hand.
I hate you so much.
She was on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then that was super funny too. That was after I saw her.
Okay, no, Rob, I don't think you understand. when I was in middle school, okay, my parents were really poor and we never had cable, okay? And I would run home from school because if I didn't run, I wouldn't make it home in time to watch Xena. Like, I had to run home from school in order to be there at the time that Xena started.
Yeah, I get it.
It was like my favorite show. Like, I loved it so much. You don't understand. Little old me, there weren't many cool shows like that, especially not on regular TV, where it's like some badass chick being fucking awesome and like looking super cool while doing it and fighting like minotaurs and dragons. Okay, I don't think there was ever a dragon, but you get what I'm
You loved
saying.
it so much,
like,
you made shit up and put it in there.
But yeah, no, I fucking love Xena so much. And
well, this is the hand that shook
really?
Xena's hand. So if we ever meet in person, I'll shake it, and then you'll sit, and then you're 1 degree from Lucy Lawless.
Yeah, cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, but she was probably one of the coolest, if not the coolest, like bona fide celebrity that I've ever met.
I believe it.
Have you seen a lot of them? Huh?
Have you seen Spartacus, the TV show?
No.
Go watch it, Rob. Since I always take your movie suggestions, now you have to take my TV show suggestions.
But Spartacus, that's about like gladiators and stuff, right?
Yes, but there's more to it than that. It's
right,
kind of like how you said, I forgot the name of the movie already. And I was like, oh, it's a golf movie. And you said, but
yeah,
it's
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. Okay. Think of it like Caddyshack. Yes, it's gladiators, but that's the setting of the movie, if you will. Okay.
It's really just about relationships and stuff, right?
But I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm just gonna tell you to fucking watch it and take me later.
Vex says it has lots of nudity and sex.
There's lots of boobs and lots of dicks and a guy.
Oh, lots of dicks. Oh, I'm in. It must be an HBO show. Dicks?
There's nothing wrong with dicks. It was a Star show.
Oh, okay, maybe it is. What's wrong with dicks? I don't really like them, but they're cool if you're a girl.
I mean, there's lots of boobs, so it kind of makes up for it, I guess. If you don't, I don't see the problem. I feel like both should get equal screen time.
I agree with you if that's what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm. In fact, there's probably only like maybe a total of like 6 scenes where you'll see dicks.
I thought you were gonna give me the number of dicks. That would have been great.
No, and then like 100
dicks
scenes where you'll see boobs. So. Okay, but there's more to it than that. It's a really good show.
All right, Spartacus. I'm all over it.
Spartacus.
And it's a complete. It's done, right? So I can watch like the whole series.
Yes, you can watch it. It's like 3 or 4 seasons. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've like actually watched it all the way through. The last season is not as good as the other ones, but it ties up everything. And the second season is like in the past. So you'll watch one season and then they'll do another season, but it happened before the first season. And then the third season, it comes back, like the timeline comes back. It makes sense when you watch it and it's fine. It doesn't feel that jarring. You'll be fine.
All right, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You should watch it.
All right, I'm gonna put it on my list.
Watch it.
I'm gonna put it on my list. Watch it.
Okay. Yes. I think it's on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, you should be able to watch it.
I've got all the Flixes.
Mm-hmm. I have Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime. So if it's not on any of those, I can't watch it. I used to have a Crunchyroll subscription because I really love anime, like a lot. It's actually kind of gross how much anime I've watched, and it's not something I talk about that much either because people always make fun of people who watch anime. But I had to stop my Crunchyroll subscription because we were like super tight up money. I'm probably gonna pick it up back again though because things are fine now.
They're fine now.
Just rambled for like 10 minutes. But yeah, now you and the whole internet know my little secret. I love anime like a lot.
Anime. Yeah, I never got into anime. went
There's
to
so many good anime shows.
Akira.
Like a lot.
I went.
Dude, Akira is old as dirt, and actually probably one of the first animes I've ever seen. It was either that or Princess Mononoke.
That's the famous. That's the one everybody. I mean, like if you don't know anything about anime, you know that. Like you know.
That or Ghost in the Shell. I think everybody knows.
I don't know that.
What?
I'm out. I don't know.
You don't know Ghost in the Shell?
I mean,
They
I've
made a
heard
live
that
action
before.
movie.
I've heard, I've heard that said. Ghost in the Shell. I'm looking it up.
Playing an Asian woman didn't make sense.
Ghost in the Shell.
Japanese. You know, the one with the naked.
Mobile Armored Riot Police.
Oh, okay, well, you are clearly uneducated in your anime. We'll fix that too.
Oh wow, I'm getting schooled, everybody.
Transformers is technically, yes.
I'm getting schooled.
Not one that I really watched though.
You know, Transformers. The thing about them is that they're robots in disguise.
Transformers, robots in disguise. Yeah, my brothers used to watch it all the time. Yes, I just sang part of this theme song to you.
Yeah. Transformers, robots in disguise. That's the song.
That is the song. My brothers also used to watch Thundercats, I think it was called.
Yeah, there's Thundercats and there's Thunderbirds. Quite different.
Basically just like Transformers.
Yeah, only it was cats.
And people will be like, no, Thundercats is not just like Transformers. And I'd be like, let's see. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Voltron. You know what? They were all the same.
They're all the same. There's no difference.
They were all the same.
It's just like the Honeymooners and the Flintstones. It's the same show.
Yeah, Voltron. That's the one where they were like the little machines, and then they would all make the big one, the big robot. I don't know. I never watched that kind of stuff.
Voltron was the super robot.
Yeah, but it was made up. It was Power Rangers, but before Power Rangers.
Voltron was an adaptation of several Japanese anime television series. See? There you go. And the song goes, Voltron! It's not Transformers.
No,
that's the song. It's exact. I sang it from memory.
I don't remember the Voltron song.
I don't even know if
I
there's
can
one.
picture the opening credits in my head. Kind of. I don't know, whatever. I love the Flintstones.
The Thesmator, it's true. The Flintstones was based on the Honeymooners. They made no secret about it. People that argue with you are wrong.
I love Flintstones.
It's the same. It's the two couples. It's exactly the same. It's the same show. I
call my little kid Bam Bam. I love
Cheerbits. Cheerbits on the stream. Thanks for the cheerbits.
And everybody calls him Kim Kim for short, but I call him Bam Bam.
Bam
Bam Bam.
Yeah.
I want him to say it so bad. And maybe for Halloween I can dress him up like Bam Bam.
There you go.
And he could be Bam Bam.
Cheerbits. Gwydion, the boss. Thank you, Gwydion. Cheerbits.
Do you remember the old TV show called Dinosaurs?
I didn't see it, but I do know about it. Yeah.
It was like a sitcom, but they were all dinosaurs, and it was like a family of dinosaurs.
Yeah, that
was. I love that show.
It completely got by me because it must have been like in the early '90s or something.
It was.
When I found out about it, I swear I thought it was a made up shit, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's.
I love you, man.
No, it's actually kind of a good show too, and like. They put it on, I want to say Netflix, and my husband and I binged it again just for shits and giggles. And now, like, we quote that show all the time. There's this episode. So the baby dinosaur in that show, he like throws temper tantrums all the time, right?
Yeah.
And he like hates his dad. Like anytime the dad tries to do something, he'll be like, the baby will say, not the mama, you know, like, you know, whatever. It's fucking funny. And so there's this episode where he's like just going crazy, the little baby, and everybody's all exasperated because they're like tired of dealing with his shit. and they're like, well, how do we fix this? And then either the big brother or the big sister is like, I have an idea, and they bake him a cake and put little candles in the cake, and they bring it to him, and they sing him happy birthday to the baby. And he was like, everybody's looking around him, and they're like, you're 3 now, and he's like, I'm 3. And there's like this angel light glowing around him, and like the tornado in their house like dissipates, and I was like, that's so fucking funny. It's hilarious. Love that show. And
hey,
I want to try that shit with my kids. Just be like, you're not 2 anymore, you're 3 now.
I'm 3?
I'm 3.
Have you ever heard of oh fuck, now I can't think of the name of it. Oh my god, I'm just about to tell everyone about this awesome show, and guess what? I don't remember the name of it.
Breaking Bad.
It's called I'm Sorry.
Dead.
Does anybody know about I'm Sorry?
Have not heard of that. Shockingly.
So there's this comedian, this is a woman named Andrea Savage, whom I want to marry, and I don't believe in marriage. And she's also married with I still want to marry her. Anyway, her show is on True TV. It is a comedy. But she's done 2 seasons of it, and it's on either Netflix or, Hulu or something.
Wait, like Adam Ruins Everything True TV?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's on, like, if you want to go watch the first 2 seasons, it's on either the Netflix or the Hulu or the one of those
okay.
does. But
What's it called?
It's called I'm Sorry. And I highly recommend. It is just the fucking funniest show. She is married with like a 6-year-old daughter, and her husband is played by Tom Everett Scott. And
I don't know who that is.
If you saw him, you'd be like, oh, I've seen that guy. He's not uber famous, but he's been in like a lot of movies. But anyway, I'll give you an example of just a scene from the show that kind of sets up what the whole entire show is. They're sitting down for dinner, and the little 6-year-old girl goes, well, I'm making this up. It's not exactly from the show, but it's just what I have in my head. She goes, I had a problem at school today because, my vagina hurts all the time. And they just look at each other and they're like, oh, well, this is happening. We have to handle this now. And then, that's like the whole show. It's just,
oh my God.
It's just social faux pas, one after the other. And it's just fucking, if you just watch the first episode, you'll know right away if you like it. But yeah, I'm Sorry, everybody. Check it out. I'm Sorry.
I'll check it out. We're in the middle of Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now. We're almost done watching that.
I wonder if they're gonna. I heard Terry Crews talking about the other day, like how are they gonna continue it, or if they're gonna continue. Cops was canceled. Right.
We haven't watched it all the way to the end, so no.
I've never watched it. I like Terry Crews. I love Andre Brower. I like curly haired. What's his name? Andy Samberg. And a couple of.
Love him.
I love all those people, but I never saw. I saw like an episode or 2, but.
Right. Oh, it's so good. I love the Lonely Island, which is where Andy Samberg, where I knew him from.
Yeah, Yorba and what's the other guy's name? Dick in the Box. Yeah, those guys.
So I love the Lonely Island, like a lot. It's gross, but so my husband was watching it one day, and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's the guy from Lonely Island," and he was like, "Wow, impresses me," because usually I don't really know or recognize famous people.
Right.
It really impresses me. And then I was like, "Oh my God, Terry Crews!" I love Terry Crews. I'm like a big Terry Crews fan. And so I was like, "Oh, this looks pretty good. Will you restart it for me?" So like we've been watching it, and there were nights when I would stream and we would be watching it like right before stream, and I would be like, "Okay, if XYZ happens, like you have to stop watching it because there's certain things in the story that I don't want to miss." I'm trying not to say what they are, but so I was like, "Don't watch whenever this episode comes up. Don't watch it without me," is what I would tell my husband, and he'd be like, okay, you know. And so you would pick something else out to watch. The problem is that I'll come back later and he's like watching something super cool, and I'd be like, whoa, 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 you got to start this over so I can watch it. So we kind of go in circles like this. Sometimes when he works during the day and I'm hanging out with the baby, I'll start a show and he'll come in and make his lunch later and he'll be like, what are you watching? And I'm like, oh, it's Castlevania, which is a really good show, by the way. So I was watching Castlevania and he was like, whoa, this looks super good. So we were like, later that night, we're like, we'll put it on up in the bedroom. And he's like, well, you have to start it from the beginning. And we do this in circles, like constantly. We're constantly restarting shows for each other. It's terrible.
You guys just don't have the patience to wait for each other? Or?
Well, no, but I mean, like, sometimes I can watch TV, but he can't.
Yeah.
And then he can watch TV, but I can't. So sometimes our TV watching time just doesn't line up, like, at all. And so we're like out of sync with shows. What really we should do is just watch the same show, but in our own time or whatever. But we like watching shows together, so nah.
I wrote down Spartacus, and then also I wrote down episodes with Andrea Savage, but I had to put like quotes around episodes. Like later I'll come back and go, watch the Spartacus episodes with Andrea Savage. Like I won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
all right, you want me to see the movie called Private Parts with Howard Stern? We talked about that earlier.
Private Parts, yeah, that was before the stream, I think.
Yeah, oh, oops.
And,
and I'm Sorry with Andrea Savage on Netflix. Got that.
And I'm supposed to watch Spartacus and episodes, according to the chat, episodes.
Yes, I'll write that one down, episodes. I don't know what that is, but I'm writing it down.
I don't know what it is. I'm doing it. Oh, episodes. That's the Matt LeBlanc thing I never watched, isn't it? Yes.
Oh, that name sounds really familiar. Don't tell me.
Okay, who was Matt LeBlanc?
It sounds super familiar.
He played on a sitcom.
Friends.
Yes, and his character's name was...
No. He was either Chandler or Joey.
He had his own show with the title of his name from Friends. Was there a show called Chandler or was there a show called Joey?
I don't know. I didn't know there was either of those.
Yeah.
Matt LeBlanc was Chandler.
No, he was Joey.
Damn it!
Chandler is Matthew Perry. So Vex is suggesting.
That's not gonna happen.
Okay, you are.
Veto. Where's my timeout card? I need a timeout.
You need a yellow card, a red card.
So gross.
Oh, Thespinator, I have good news for you. Robin detests Princess Bride. She hates it. She doesn't understand why they even took the time.
I will never judge another person for not liking things that I like, so don't judge me for not liking.
No, you have to judge. If you're a good person, you judge other people for the movies they like or they don't like.
They both said she's just wrong.
Yeah, she's
like
wrong. That's two people that say you're wrong. Well, I'm three.
Those happened like at the same time. It's really funny. I'm not wrong. It's called an opinion, man. It's just not a good movie. You know what? We've already been down this road. There's no reason to revisit it.
I'm thinking of all the reasons to revisit it.
Why?
But to hear someone say that, like, there has to be someone out there who doesn't like ice cream. There just has to be. But to hear someone say, I don't like ice cream, it's like, what? You don't like?
My brother doesn't like ice cream.
See, it runs in your family, I guess.
Maybe we're just not fucking sheep.
Now, is that an adjective or verb? That's what I want to know. Why not both? We're not fucking sheep or we're not fucking sheep.
No, I mean sheep as Well,
I know what you mean.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That one took a minute, but I see
should
what
hope
you're
not.
saying.
That's illegal in most states.
We're not cheap.
Here's my old credit card.
No,
Did everybody get the number off that? Did you get the number? Can you clip that? Can you freeze it?
No, but somebody, they can rewind in pods and then get the numbers, right?
They can.
Especially now that I just gave them
That's
that
no good.
information. Oh, just don't save the VOD or whatever. You'll be fine. I'm sure it's fine.
I can blur it
Maybe
out.
I'll do it so fast.
Oh, here. Does everybody want to see? Hold on. Where's the here? Let's just see. Everybody gonna witness it. Let's just witness it.
Yeah.
It's happening.
In order to use it, they'd need the numbers on the back too. So there you go. Come on, you can do it.
Oh wait, it's got my picture. Got my picture right here.
Aw, that's cool. My brothers have bank cards with their pictures on them. I don't like them because, like, my face has changed so much.
My face. I don't want to see it because it's got
Look at my driver's
face.
license. I wish I had my wallet in here so I could show you my last 3 driver's licenses, which I still have. Sometimes when you get a new driver's license, they just let you keep the old one. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, I never figured that out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. On the upper right, we have your picture.
Give me your old one, and they'll like cut it, and then other times they're like, oh no, I don't need that. So I guess it just depends. I've lived in so many states that I have like driver's license for 4 different states: California, Washington. I never got one in Missouri, Tennessee. No, and Missouri. I never got one for Illinois yet.
Yeah,
next year.
That's what I just cut up was my Costco Visa card. That's what that was. It's the same as what you have. But I got my new one.
Right. I don't want my picture on because
you're just
my
some
face
sort
has
of
changed so many times.
Drifter con person with your different drivers. You probably got 8 passports and everything else, don't you?
No, I've just lived Army life. I've lived in so many states. And every time I go to a new one, my driver's license expires and I need to go get a new driver's license. And it's like, oh, new state, new driver's license. The only state that gives you a driver's license that lasts an actual usable amount of time is Arizona, where they give you like 10 years on your driver's license or something like that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I lived there 10 years. I got my driver's license renewed once. Yeah, I remember that.
How many husbands
have you murdered?
0. I was married once before my husband now. I wish I had murdered him. So does it count if it was in my thoughts?
No, because if what you thought about was illegal, me and everybody else would already be in jail for like many whole lifetimes.
Thoughts aren't.
Here's a check from
punishable.
Progressive. This check was for $10. This was my refund. This is my COVID-19 refund. $10.
Oh, are you gonna shred that? You can't go to jail for what you think.
No, you can't.
Only to Jesus.
I can rip it up.
Jesus.
Rip it up.
Oh.
Here's
what if
check.
you're Jewish?
I'd like to rip up. That's the Trump check.
Jewish people don't believe in Jesus either.
He was the king of the Jews. What do you mean?
They're waiting for their Jesus still.
Here's a check from Waste Management.
Why are you cutting checks up? Did you already cash them?
I'm gonna rip it up. That was this check.
Did you cash them?
This check just came. I cashed them. This check just came a couple weeks ago. My mother passed away in 2014. In August. This check just came. Her refund from 6 years later.
Damn. I'm trying to think. I was gonna say, I think your mom passed away the same year as my dad, but that is incorrect, and I mathed wrong. My dad passed away in 2016, but I thought it was 2014 for some reason. I don't know why.
August 22nd, 2014 is easy for me to remember because that is the day that my mother passed away. Also the day I got a liver transplant.
Oh my God. The same day. Yes, I remember. That's so sad. My dad passed away when we moved to Missouri. We were living in a motel because we were waiting on the military housing. We lived in a motel for 2 months. It was the worst experience of my life. And I don't know how people can do that for long-term commitments.
Oh, live
like
in a
live in
hotel?
motels. Yeah, motels.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
big difference. Motel and hotel, big difference. Big difference. Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
So it was me, and at the time we only had 2 children, and we had a Great Dane, and we had a cat. Me, my husband, 2 children, Great Dane, cat living in a motel. It was a nightmare.
Wow.
There was a duck that lived on the motel property. And I used to have to take my dog out, on a leash to go potty and, do
Yeah.
her doggy business. And this duck was huge duck. And he would like walk around the motel parking lot, quack, 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 constantly, right? And my dog, being a dog, did not like the duck.
Yeah.
Okay. My dog also at the time weighed more than I did. Okay. And my husband was always working. So there's teeny little me. I weighed like 120 pounds. My dog weighed 140. I'm sure you can see where this story is going. So I was holding on to my dog, and my dog would hear the duck, and the duck was just quack, 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 whatever. And my dog was like, "Ooh, dinner!" and would take off running after this fucking duck and literally dragged me across the parking lot once because I was like, Pixel, no! That's my dog's name, Pixel. Yes, Great Dane named Pixel. It's a joke. And
it's a joke. Thanks.
Thanks. And yeah, so I'm like hollering for my son, who at the time he was like 8 or 9. So I'm like, Sean, come and get the dog. And I'm like chasing my dumb dog. And my dumb dog is chasing the dumb duck. And it was just a nightmare. And this happened on a daily fucking basis. Like for 2 months straight. I was so done with it.
I'll bet you other residents of the motel were feeding that duck.
Yeah, our neighbor, directly.
And then therefore the duck doesn't leave. It goes, oh, there's bread here every day.
In fact, when they got evicted, which is what happened, they got evicted. The lady who lived in the room directly next to ours came and knocked on our door, and she was like, "Here's this bin of duck food I've been feeding the duck. Will you please be sure to feed the duck?" And I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not feeding this duck. I hope it dies." I didn't say that. I fed the duck, but
of course you did.
In my head, I was like, I hope the duck fucking dies. But of course, my kids were there and I couldn't say that. So,
yeah.
So my little son was like, "Oh, I want to feed the duck," and that's how we got roped into feeding the duck. Dude, I could tell stories like this all day long. My life is so interesting.
Is it?
I can't even say that with a straight face. No, I don't find that interesting, but maybe you did.
I think what makes stories
Fun
interesting
to
to people is
stuff like that.
Sometimes if stuff is relatable, or the opposite, stuff that is just unrelatable in any way, people are like, "Wow, that really happened," that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But stories are weird because
the lady who got dragged through a parking lot by her Great Dane chasing a duck. It was me. I had like fucking burns, whatever, road burns on my shoulder. My God. Yeah, because my dog was fucking strong. You take my Great Dane for a walk. And even the most like well-mannered dog, if they want something really badly.
Well, I mean, if a dog sees a duck, it's just over.
And it's a duck that would like taunt my dog through the window just by waddling in front of our window every single day. And
I'm looking for bread.
It was a fat duck too. This duck was quite possibly the biggest duck I've ever seen in my life.
Probably because it didn't go to the water. It didn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. It just hung around. It was like, oh, there's bread here. And better than that, there's no other ducks. So it's all mine.
Yeah. It wasn't like those kind of ducks you see, like mallards on lakes. No, it was like goose-sized but it was a duck.
Yeah.
I know it was a duck because I know the difference between ducks and geese. So I don't know what kind of species of duck it was. It was just a very large duck, like a farm duck. That's the only thing I can think of.
With a duck here and a duck there. No, it's quack here and a quack there.
Quack here and quack there. Here, quack there, quack.
Everywhere, quack.
Everywhere, quack.
It's hard to say quack twice without saying crack.
Quack. You get good at it if you have kids.
That's right.
I can't believe we just did that though.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Well, he can't fucking spell. He might have a farm, but he doesn't know how to spell.
I never got that.
There's no such word as E-I-E-I-O.
Yodeling?
Yeah, I don't know. What?
Sounds like yodeling.
Yeah, what the fuck? What does Old MacDonald mean? E-I-E-I-O.
Beck said you should quote me for saying I know the difference between ducks and geese. I do know the difference between ducks and geese.
Well, I think most people do, don't they?
No, they do not. We had this conversation before. Americans are stupid.
Yeah, Americans are stupid, but boy, if you don't know the difference between a duck and a goose, you're a whole different level of stupid.
I mean, I've seen like kids over the age of like kindergarten age, and they saw a crow on the side of the road, doing crow things, and the kid was like, "Is that a chicken?" Shit, you fucking not. No, that's not a chicken. It's a crow, raven, blackbird, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's not a chicken.
Yeah, see, I don't believe in violence, and I don't believe in, but that kid needs to be slapped.
Yes.
Not by a parent, but by the smarter or brother or sister. That's not a chicken.
I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't. Chicken.
I mean, well, that's been.
If you were like 3 years old, I would allow that. That'd be fine. But still, I'd correct you and be like, "That's not a chicken. That's a crow." But a 3-year-old, I could see making that mistake and thinking that all birds are chickens. Fine. But this kid was like at least 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
That might as well be.
Old enough to know what a crow is.
That same kid might as well see somebody holding a phone and go, "What do you got there? A spatula? What is that?"
Right? I know. No, then it doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, Rob. Don't look at your clock. You probably already did. How long have we been doing it for?
2 hours and 7 minutes.
You like.
I don't go by the clock. I go by how much my ear hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Which it does.
I know my batteries are gonna die in like 30 minutes. So these little bad boys.
You're so privileged.
You
even used a different voice. Like, my batteries are gonna die in like 30 minutes.
That's right. My batteries. These bad
my
boys.
batteries are gonna die in like 30 minutes.
That's my fancy voice.
Is it? I like it. You should use it all the time.
I told you to buy these, so you didn't like them, so that's not
okay,
you.
I bought 2 different kinds, and then I discovered that, like, are those Bluetooth or are they wireless?
Bluetooth.
So
good.
How does? But my voice doesn't match my picture, does it?
What?
So when I talk, when you see me talk, is it like seeing me on TV, or am I delayed?
No, you're not delayed at all. It matches up within a fraction of a second perfectly.
Wow. See, I bought 2 different kinds of Bluetooth things, and both of them, when I would watch a YouTube video, it was like a second off, and I went online and I read about it, and they said there's nothing that can be done about the millisecond delays in Bluetooth devices. It's always going to be off. And I was like, what the fuck? What's the why? And I sent them all back, and I just can't do it. What I might do though is buy wired ones that plug directly in the USB, but they're just like that. But I do like to be able to walk away and go to the kitchen while I'm playing on Saturday or Friday night and still be. But I don't know. Maybe somebody can give me some.
Get a headset like what you're wearing now, but a lot lighter on the like less bulky, and then maybe it won't hurt as much.
This was recommended to me by more than one person on stream, and I liked it for the first thing I had it, but yeah, it sounds like Vex knows something about this receiver. But,
oh yeah, maybe you got. Well, but you got the same dongle that I bought. I sent you the link.
Yeah, I got the
dongle.
It was like $12 or whatever. Yeah, I still have it. But
yeah, and I'm using the exact same one. I literally went to my orders and then clicked into the one I bought and then copied the link and sent it to you. So
yeah, but when I hooked it in, it was a delay and I didn't like it. I couldn't do it.
Weird. Yeah, because like for me, your mouth is moving and the sound matches. So it might be like a tiny hair off.
This was clearly like half a second, like, or more.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it makes you nuts. And I was watching like YouTube videos and stuff, and I'm like, no, this is not. I can't do it. And so then I got another pair of a different kind, and that didn't work either. Or it worked the same way.
Like I'm trying to read their lips now, because I'm like hyper conscious of it now.
Yeah. It's gonna make you nuts. It's gonna make you nuts to try to watch me when I talk, and then you'll never be able to understand what I'm saying.
Were you trying to use them for the microphone too? Please don't, because the mics in these are horrible.
And the other thing is that I have these really nice mics, but they're not that nice. They're just but.
I know, that's why when you said my mic was really bad, it's really hard for me because I love this microphone, right? And I think when my audio is working properly, that my mic is amazing quality. It's like really good quality. So I don't know if I still sound bad, but I know it's not my microphone. This is a really nice professional microphone. You should buy one.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't have, like, I have this is on a boom arm, right? Which I could do. I could just replace. But because I can't, like, to have one in front of me like you do. Oh, yours is on a boom arm. Wow. But I don't think I would put it in front of me so much like you do. I would put it to the side and then just.
I know. I've been meaning to redo mine, but because this is a condenser microphone, which is one of the ways you get the best quality sound, right? It's a condenser. So the closer the sound source is to it, the better it processes, the better it is. So this is the kind of microphone they use in radio booths, because usually the radio people, they're like right up on them, like here, you know.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. I was also a radio DJ.
I did
a lot of jobs.
College, very briefly. I was going to college for broadcast journalism, so I took a radio class, reporting class, Associated Press classes. That's what I really wanted to do.
I know.
If I couldn't do theater, I was going to be a reporter or a DJ.
I was studying to get a communications degree, so that's more broad. But I did work at the college radio station, and then also when I quit college, I then went to broadcasting school. I actually went to like 9 months of just broadcast school. And yeah, that didn't work out. It's all right.
A foot and a half away is too far away for a condenser mic.
Oh, great. Rob did the thing, and it's fucking adds AIDS now. What face? What the fuck is that? I don't remember him saying that at all. I don't even know what that is. All right. I didn't get my nap today.
My sound quality was better. I'm gonna check my cable tonight and see.
Yeah, you should. When I upload it to the video, just watch a few minutes of it. You'll hear it's still doing it. It's still doing the.
Which makes me sad because on normal nights, right, I sound great.
Yeah. You do. Sound great. Do you know a tiger that does that on a commercial? Do you know? Great. Do you know that guy?
Tony the Tiger.
Okay, just check it.
Cornflakes.
I don't think it's
cornflakes.
I think it's Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. Same difference.
Cornflakes has the rooster. That's the boring one.
You're right. I had to think of the song. I was like, Frosted Flakes are more than good. They're great. Right?
I didn't even know there was a song.
Yeah, there's a song. Hey Tony, I like the things you do. Hey Tony, if I could, I would be you. You're the one and only tiger.
Oh man, I don't even think I remember that. I mean, now that you're
you know how to
singing
take a breakfast to make it great.
Wow.
Frosted Flakes. Okay, yeah, that's.
Yeah, Thespinator's reminding me they actually did used to be called Sugar Frosted Flakes. And they took the word sugar off because that didn't fool anybody.
Bad.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. People realized sugar was bad, so they like try to cover up that there's sugar and everything. Dude, I don't
There's
like
a candy called Sugar Babies, and now they just call them babies.
Oh, yeah, that's
No,
weird.
they don't.
I don't like sugary cereals, like marshmallow cereals and stuff. I think they're
I like
it's
Crunch
way too
Berries.
sugary for me.
Crunch Berries is really the only one I go back to all the time. But I like a good bowl of Cheerios.
I like
regular Cheerios.
I like multigrain Cheerios. Oh no, I buy like the white box, like bran or granola cereal. Like no, they're like sugar free. Fucking love those. They're so good. It's like bran or granola, almonds. Yeah, it's like kind of all that's in the cereal. There's no sugar on. They're not powdered or coated in crap. They're delicious. I love those kinds of cereals.
Vex is asking me, do I remember so the fresh stay fresh and the hot stays hot McDonald's that put the hamburgers you put together yourself? What fucking kind of Idaho backwards bullshit is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Like Subway, but for hamburgers?
I don't remember McDonald's letting you put the hamburger together yourself. I don't ever remember that. And I've been going into McDonald's regularly since like the early 80s.
You know what I do remember? When I was a little kid, McDonald's used to do like 2 nights a week, like Tuesdays and Fridays or something like that. Tuesdays, hamburgers would be like 29 cents.
Yeah.
And Fridays, cheeseburgers would be like 39 cents. Right. I remember that shit because we were poor and we'd be going to McDonald's on Fridays.
Oh, I remember
cheeseburgers.
It seemed to me that for the entire span of the 90s, Burger King had 39-cent hamburgers and Taco Bell had the 39-cent tacos.
Oh, yeah.
For like the whole 10-year period. And gas at the end of the 90s was like 99 cents. Oh, you're talking about the McDouble or the Mc whatever the fuck that was. Yeah.
No, it was just their plain hamburgers.
No, I'm talking to Vex. He's doing this whole. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They had a name for that though. It was called the McDouble or the fuck, I don't know what it was called. You remember the McDonald's Big Mac song, Robin?
Big Mac fillet of fish, quarter pounder French fries, icicle milkshakes, something, and apple pies. Is that the song you're talking about?
Well, when you started singing that, I've heard that, but
you just let me keep going.
That's not the one that I was thinking of, but I have heard that. I couldn't sing that one. No, I'm talking about the song that has the ingredients for the Big Mac.
Oh no, I've never heard that one.
There was a point when I was in high school where if you went in and sang that, they would just give you one, and I did it every day for like a month. It's 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. You never heard that?
I've never heard that one.
Oh my god, just go to YouTube. There's like all kinds of commercials of that.
Why is it that I know like all this other weird shit?
The McDLT, there you go. That's what it was, Vex. Yeah, Jason Alexander, yeah.
Quarter pounder French fries, icy cola, milkshakes, sundaes, and apple pies. That's how that song went.
Yeah, I couldn't do that one. I have heard it though. But this was like in the 80s, and they did it for like, I don't know, they were singing that on TV for like 10 years. 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
Yeah, it just really goes to show that jingles jingles really do work. Yeah, because
Here's
even
one.
after all these
Hot
years,
dogs.
I still
Armored
remember
hot
the
dogs.
Frosted
I
Flakes
love
jingle.
to eat armored hot dogs. Short kids,
No,
fat
no,
kids,
no.
skinny. I don't know.
OSCARMA.
Yes.
Oh, how does the Oscar Mayer song go? Man, now I can't remember it.
OSCARMAYER.
No,
Oscar
that's
Mayer.
the Mickey Mouse theme too.
Oh yeah, that's
No,
Mickey
you
Mouse.
think it? That was
Oh no, it's
MICK.
OSCMAY.
Because we
No,
were
that's still
mixing
Mickey
up the
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse song.
Yeah.
MICKEYMOUSE Mickey Mouse.
Donald Duck.
Mickey
Mickey
Mouse.
Mouse. Donald Duck.
Okay, yeah, we.
I knew that Barry Manilow wrote "You Deserve a Break" today. I did know that.
How does an Oscar Mayer Wiener song go?
I wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener, then everybody'd be in love with me. If I was an Oscar Mayer wiener, then I'd really have to take a pee. I don't know how it goes. I forgot.
I know, I forgot too, but I used to know it so much. Oh yeah, give me a break, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Or I want my baby back, chili, baby back ribs.
I want your baby.
And my kids' favorite was always Red Robin. Yum.
Yum.
Like,
yeah.
They do that one all the time, and they haven't heard that shit on the radio since they were like 3 years old, and they still remember it. Like,
there's
it's
so
insane.
many jingles that just everybody knows, and it's a brilliant technique.
I'm waiting for somebody in chat to help us fix the Oscar Mayer song. My hot dog has a first name. It's OSCAR.
My hot dog has a second name. It's MAYER. And if you ask me,
yes, I'll say. Damn it, I lost it.
and yes, I'll say, because Oscar Mayer has a way with DOLOB.
Yay, we did it.
How's that?
Yay,
and then the kid goes, how's that?
Oh my god, I can't believe we're doing jingles now. What the fuck is going on? Oh my gosh,
so,
Rob, it's 10:30. I have to go.
wait, it's armored hot dogs. Armored hot dogs. What kinds of kids eat armored hot dogs? Fat kids, skinny kids, kids who suck on cocks, tough kids, sissy kids, even kids that suck on cocks of hot dogs. Armored hot dogs. That's what kids love to fight. That's made up my own version.
I've never heard that one. Thank you, everybody in chat, for coming to the show tonight.
Yes, it's over. As soon as the singing starts, then it ends. That's how we do it.
I apologize to everyone in chat for who had to listen to my horrible singing.
Thank you, Robin. Have a good night.
Rob, you have a good night.
Okay. Bye, everybody.